Serafina and I were at a entrepreneurial book club where Stephanie never read the right book. And
Stephanie was terrible at this book club.
I really sucked at book club.
I did
Fabulous. What?
I just had a visual. I just had a
It was a
visual.
lot.
I had a visual.
Proud of it.
Hold on, let me turn it on.
Hello and good morning from Mashpee TV. It is Kat, it is Stephanie, and this is too many years in the making.
This is like decades. This is history right now.
Right? I know. In our own brain. So what happens when you get two radio girls in front of a live stream at Mashpee TV? You don't know, so hang out.
Most important thing is we don't know.
Yeah, no. No, I know. There was no pre-planning. You're like, so I love how you tried to have like a preamble meeting yesterday. And I was like, I give you nothing.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
showing up. We've got things to talk about. Excellent.
So it honestly occurred to me though, in the entire time that we've known each other, and this is really going back,
Just a few years.
nobody
Few
has ever
decades.
locked us in a room together.
No, literally is locking. Thank you very much, Chris. Shout out to Chris Ball over at Mashpee TV. He's like, here are the exits just in case you need something.
And he just left the room.
I know.
too.
Well, he also gave me a thumbs up that our stream is working. So that's
Okay.
been like a wonky situation for us, but we're getting it together. You don't need to know our inside baseball. Just know that we're coming at you from several angles. We're actually unavoidable.
Oh boy.
Which I love. So we all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but you and I have been figuring out a way to be able to do an event together,
Mhm.
do something that is close to all of the things that we've been going through in our personal lives that we don't necessarily talk about. I think as both former radio gals that we have been taught to be smile, be cheerful, stand in front of that microphone. Nothing else is going on in your life. You're going to make those other people happy. And we're not going to talk about the real stuff that's going on behind the microphone.
I can't tell you how many times I was told that. Nobody cares about what's going on in your life.
Right? You're like, okay.
But what if what's going on in my life is also going on in their life?
Mm-hmm.
And when you live on Cape Cod, there is one giant pink elephant in the room
Mm-hmm.
that has impacted almost everybody's lives
Yeah.
one way or another.
Yeah.
So we are talking about breast cancer.
Yeah.
And October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Stephanie being a survivor and a fighter, and I'm just coming up on my 6-month surgery anniversary.
That's amazing.
I get chills in the back of my neck just saying that.
That's real. Like out loud.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like that's me. I'm a statistic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But we're going to do something fun, and we're going to let everybody get together and have fun with us.
Yeah. Well, that was our big thing. You know, I've been trying to bring back the 0.5K. We started it last year at Knockabout. We had like 7 people participate. It was like just a big joke. And this year I was like, you came to me and you're like, what about this? And I was like, I've been dying to find a good cause to do this again for.
And I've been talking about trying to do a 0.5K for like ever. 'Cause
Yeah.
As a promotions, marketing, radio person who's always trying to find ways to get people together to have fun.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, a 0.5K, because you don't have to be in shape.
Right.
You just have to show up.
Right. That's literally it.
And isn't like showing up like 90% of the battle?
I loved what you said, though, when we were just talking candidly about it. And Sue Frazier, thank you so much. She's like, you were both awesome. You were like, even if you're in treatment, you can do this race.
Yep. So if anybody's trying to do the math this early,
And I'm using the race as a very loose term. This is not a race. I didn't pull a permit because it's a joke. We're going to do 2 laps around the field. It's
Wait,
not
did
one
you
of those
measure
things.
it? Is it?
I did. Oh yeah. My
it's-
husband had the little stick, the walking thing. We know the route. He's serious.
All right. Is the route marked so that none of us get lost?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So if anybody wants to do the math, a 0.5K is just about 1/3 of a mile.
Yep.
I've been training.
What does that training consist of?
I've been walking the entire length of my driveway to the mailbox and back every day.
Excellent. Good work.
But seriously, we just want to get people together, have fun, and yes, we are going to be raising money for a great cause.
Yeah, so we are raising money for the Women's Early Detection Fund. It's a fund that a good friend of mine, a breast cancer survivor, Jen Rako, started, I want to say 8 years ago when we started doing the dance marathon. The dance marathon is older than that, and I'm not going to bore you with all the drama that happened within the middle, but we changed our designation and we started a fund altogether for Cape Cod women that needed some basic stuff. If you want to have your BRCA testing, which we were talking about with Chris, that it used to not be covered. If you need a mammogram earlier than your doctor or your insurance allows, if you need any sort of female procedure that is not covered by your insurance because either you're too young for it or it's just not covered. It's wild to me that when your doctor says that you need this and they're like, well, you're not covered because you're not old enough. What?
Yeah.
I'm sick.
the loops and hoops that you have to go through to pre-screen for testing, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it turns your brain inside out.
Yeah.
Because there's one part of your brain that's saying, well, maybe this isn't real and you're just crazy and you're being paranoid. But there is some little voice inside your body that's saying something isn't right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I am the walking poster child for early detection. I found a lump. It felt weird. I went for a regular scheduled mammogram and I realized I had to have it changed to a diagnostic from it was.
Jump through these 87 hoops so
gosh.
that you can have everything covered, which I understand somebody needs to pay for it. But at the end of the day, like, just get it done.
Yeah. But
by the way, we have Laura, Sarah, Jenny, Jordan. Thanks for joining us. Sethi, hi. Hi, Kat.
Sethi. Sethi Spice. Hi.
So here you are, you found a lump. You're like, okay, I got problems.
Something's weird.
Yep.
And what I found was once they entered the right code for the testing, and then I went in, it was like, here's your ticket for the roller coaster. You don't get a seatbelt or a safety helmet. 1, 2, 3, go. And you are getting poked and prodded. You are having biopsies. You are having ultrasounds.
I love those dog memes where the dog's like outside the car and its face is like this. It's like you're like that, but in a less fun way.
Yeah, much less fun way.
Way less fun.
And so I found a lump in February. I had the testing all done in March, and in April, I had surgery. Boom. Never thought I would sit in a room with a surgeon who would say the words, "You have cancer." And your brain begins to, like, I can't tell you.
You shut off.
It's insane what happens. And then she's talking. You can be cured. She's talking. And it's like,
that's why you need a good support team. I cannot stress, like, I'm so thankful for my husband, my partner, my people in my lives, my friends that are all willing to just sit there and listen. Because I'm 40, I'm planning my funeral. I'm in my coffin.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's my eulogy going to be like? Like, I'm literally not listening to you.
Yeah.
Because I'm dead.
Are they going to put me in?
Like, did I do enough?
Yeah.
Like, the stupid things is that you're literally not listening to the things that you need to be listening to take care of yourself.
Like,
and you're out to lunch.
I'm ready to call the guy that helped me train my dog to say, can you take my dog?
Could you, like, I got things to do. Could you do? And they're like, hold on, focus.
And
so your support team is crucial in this space.
And I have no history of cancer in my family. I had no exposure to it directly. I've obviously had many, 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 many friends, including you, who went through breast cancer treatments, the diagnosis, the whole 9 yards, but never myself.
Yeah.
And like, I can't even, she's trying to describe things to me and explain, and she's showing pictures. And all I can think is the evil purple minion from Despicable Me is now growing in my chest.
Like, get this out.
I mean, I honestly,
I know. It's crazy.
And we're laughing at it, and you
have to.
If you don't laugh at it,
right.
it's
That's why we're making this pink 0.5K a big deal. I got a bagpiper.
Shut up.
I got a lady bagpiper on a sandwich. I had no idea that she existed. I'm like, how are you one town over and I've never heard of you?
Wow.
Get ready to have a lot of business because I am very excited to have you on our team. I said, we need to start this race with a little fanfare.
I think that
Right?
that is the perfect way to do it.
Bagpipes.
I like how you think.
Right? We do have water stations.
Is it really going to be water?
Well, we do have beer available. That is part of one of the stations. So, I mean, if you do need to stop for a seltzer, a knocktail, or a beer, thank you very much to Knockabout Brewing Company for your garden party that we have in the Mashpee Commons. We have that available for you also. That also, ups the ante with our cheering section.
I think so.
They'll
I
probably
think
be
that's
over
right.
there and just, wave the big foam fingers that I ordered. I'm a weirdo.
Of course you did.
Oh, yeah.
Of course you did.
I'm very excited for all of this. We have Mashpee Canine Cara, whose first birthday is today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Right, but she is celebrating with her birthday party. So she got Katie Hennessy got hot pink pup cups.
Say that 10 times fast.
Hot pink pup cups. And she is going to be bringing those.
Aww.
And she's got a pink tutu. She's going to be walking the race with us. She's got the
Nice.
cruiser. She's like, let me see if I can get a pink cruiser. So she's been like calling around to the different PDs to see if she can get a pink cruiser.
Doesn't one of the police departments have a pink motorcycle?
Somebody's got something.
I think it was Dennis.
This is our call out to you. If you've got something, we need you on Sunday. I know there are other races going on. There's a marathon, there's a this and that, but this is the pink 0.5K.
You know what? I think the 0.5K is going to keep it real.
Right.
Because if you go to bed Friday night thinking, I need karma points, and you wake up Saturday morning, you can literally roll out of bed in time because we're not doing it at 6 in the morning.
No, it's 10 a.m. This is the laziest race you've ever had. It's 2 laps around a field with bagpipes, okay, and beer.
And it's not even, you don't have to run it. So
No.
you can get your karma points in without pre-training.
Ricky B says, oh no, this could be trouble. Welcome. Welcome in. Kelly, Laura, Chris, we appreciate you guys checking in. And Sue says, Tara and I will be there. Yeah, get signed up. There's still plenty of time. You can sign up even that day or just roll down and come sign up for us.
And how can people pre-register for this wonderful event?
Super easy. Just go to lemonadio.com. You can go to Lemonadio on Facebook. Click the link. There's a Zeffy link. So I love Zeffy. It's a great company. They don't take, it's like 4 cents of your money goes to them. And then the rest goes to your cause. So 100% of everything that we raise right now, which is only about $400 so far, but I expect it. I set a goal of 1,000.
Okay.
So I'd like at least 1,000. It'd be great for more.
I'm thinking we could do more than 1,000.
Yeah, I would like that, for our first time out. But like I said, it's Sunday. People are slow. We're slow. The race is slow. So we're hoping for big dollars at the end of this race. 100% of the proceeds are going there.
Even if you can't make it, you can make a donation.
It was last year where Kat sent me on Facebook this photo. And she's like, we need to make these t-shirts. And I was like, yeah, I like those. So I got them to my graphic designer. Shout out to Dave. And I was like, Dave, can you make these? It's like something cute. So he has made us such cute t-shirts for just mammogram awareness. Remind yourself, squeeze these. Like just it goes along with our lemons.
The picture, of course, with Lemonadio, anything that's got to do with lemons, it is freshly squeezed. Get your mammogram.
Yes.
So, I think that
it's
works.
a gentle reminder to everybody.
Stephanie, have you ever done anything gently to remind people of things?
Absolutely not. I'm beating you over the head with it. Good morning, Dave Hegner, Sam, Lisa, love you. She has been on her witch tour, which is why we're not at WKKL right now, but we'll be there next week. I was like, oh, Lisa, this could be good. But I feel like we should make it a regular, even a monthly check-in, because
I think so.
You've left radio. I've left radio-ish. We've always got one foot in it.
Well, I've always said that you're damned to it. It's one of those professions. We took the oath of poverty. we took the oath of you will never have a good night's sleep for the rest of your life. But see, the thing that I did like about radio was that I could literally roll out of bed in pajamas with, the
right.
and do a show, and nobody knew. And then this morning,
You at
I'm
least
like-
kept it in the studio. I took that. That was my look. In and out. They're like, she's got 5 kids. Also, let her have that.
Well, yeah.
Let her have that. She looks like that.
and I'm getting ready this morning, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to brush my hair.
Right? I know.
I made a left-hand turn on Route 28 first thing in the morning to be here today.
It's a big day.
This is how important this is to me.
Good morning, Jackie and Deb. Hello, Lisa. I need to get over to the Cape Cod Children's Museum. You guys are doing amazing things over there. Night at the Museum is coming up. Everybody, if you're looking for something fun to do with the very littles, or, she's aging it up a bit, they've got some Halloween stuff over there. You're a Halloween decorator extraordinaire. She's always been an absolute decorator lady, even when you were promotions lady at the radio station that we used to work
I
at.
love Halloween decorations. I really do.
I love your display this year.
Thank you. So I am that person in my neighborhood. There's one other person, and we kind of duel back and forth, trying to outdo each other from Christmas through, well, now it's extended through Easter.
I love it.
And I was one of the people to get the giant skeletons from Home Depot.
It's very much a scene out of National Lampoon's.
And so last year, I think we had the Skeleton Crew landscape company. So there were all kinds of tragic things happening to the skeletons involving landscaping. But this year, I decided we were going to go pink. And got pink lights. My skeletons are pink. We have a pink banner flag that says "No one fights alone." And I got a bunch of pumpkins that I spray painted pink. And I just thought I would write the names of friends and people that I know.
The healthcare is calling.
So the Cape Cod
Your
Healthcare
prescription's
is
ready.
calling me right now. That's actually a little scary.
Oh gosh.
But so I took these pink pumpkins and silver Sharpies, and I started writing the names of people, men and women, that I know in my life that have faced and are facing cancer now. I put it on Facebook, and I'm now getting messages from people across the country with themselves, with sisters, with in-laws, with daughters, and I'm writing their names on the pumpkins.
Which is nice, but also upsetting.
Yeah, it really drives it home. And Chris, before we turned on the cameras, was saying that, breast cancer is something that he has faced in his life with his family. And it's like when you go to treatments, it's like going to the post office. You run into people that you know from all walks of life, from all areas.
Well, and also to be a Cape person and being up at Dana-Farber and noticing how many Cape Cod people are there. Our numbers are staggeringly high. I had this conversation yesterday with a group from the Cape Wellness Collaborative and just talking about how huge our numbers are. It's disturbing at this point.
It is, but if there is a good side to it, we have more resources available to us than literally anywhere else in the country. And the fact that Dana-Farber now has a very strong relationship with Cape Cod Hospital, you can actually go to Dana-Farber, see a doctor, and then go through your treatments down here on the Cape.
That continuity.
I was able to I did radiation throughout the summer. So it was one really crappy summer for me.
And no tattoos.
But I did not get the trauma tattoos. I think a week after they stopped doing.
It's getting better, everyone. It's getting better. Good morning, Ellen. Lisa says Karen and I are 0.5K in it. Yes. Michelle, Mark Anthony over here. I used to be that decorator person many, many years ago. Martina, hello, love you, fellow sister.
Martina's on a pumpkin.
Dave Hegner missed the cheap seats.
Oh,
I know. We've got a crew here with us today.
Yeah, we're the cheap seats is not dead. So if you don't know, for many years, I did everything I could to support local independent musicians doing original music from all over New England. When I stepped away from radio, I took the cheap seats with me. It is still alive on Facebook. I do what I can on Facebook, and someday when I'm waiting
on Lemonadio.
I'm waiting for that. Wait, what was that?
It needs to be on Lemonadio.
That's an interesting
Thank you.
idea.
And we can share it with KKL. So I think that this is a great way that
All
we
right.
can do this.
We're going to think about
Yes,
that.
please.
But
Just throwing it out.
yeah, all right there. So, but getting back to the resources we have here on the Cape, I literally would take my lunch break, drive down the street to Cape Cod Hospital in Hyannis, do my radiation treatments, grab a sandwich from Old Kings because they have the new sandwich set up over
Get
at
one
the
of their booby
hospital.
donuts.
And get one of the booby donuts, please.
They're awesome.
Mark and Kate,
Yeah.
every year have these amazing jelly donuts that help to support the Cape Wellness Collaborative.
And they donate 100% of that too,
Yeah.
which is awesome because
Yep.
it's not like they've got to pay the baker, they're going to pay for materials, they're
Nope,
going to pay for
it's
all
theirs.
the things, and they donate it. So it's
So,
really amazing.
But I have to say that, like, being able to go down there and get a muffin or a sandwich from
Yeah.
them after my treatment and then go back to work, it was like, okay, this sucks, but this sandwich is really good.
Yeah, right. The little things that you look forward to post-treatment.
You know, it does. It puts the whole world in perspective
Yeah.
for you. You really do begin to cherish the little moments, the
Mhm.
you know, just taking a walk with your dog and not running into somebody that the dog is going to bark at. So you have a peaceful walk.
Yeah.
That's, you know, that's good.
Yeah. Good morning, Miss Mari. Tell Hank thank you very much for taking a seat out so that I could put the cheap seat in. It's a little squeaky, but we're having a good morning. Martina says, good morning to two fabulous warriors. We thank you. I asked Chris to get us tissues. He ignored us.
Oh,
It's
man.
like, because we were just talking about this and we were talking about Chris's wife and we were talking about the treatment. Like everybody's got their war stories, their
Yep.
trauma stories, their
Yep.
moments.
Yep.
And, you know, you brought up Mark and Kate, who not only do that, but Mark's an amazing tattoo artist. And he donates his time and his ink and his wherewithal to make women feel a little bit better after they've had mastectomies
Mhm.
and after they've had this thing where it's not fixable here, or, you know, you need a nipple tattoo or you need
Yeah.
to be feeling better for yourselves. And I know several of my breast cancer group friends that have taken him up on that offer,
Mhm.
and they're so pleased with the results. And it really does make a difference to their mental health here on World Mental Health Day.
And there we bring it all together with a big pink bow.
Yeah, right. Kat and I just were cackling off the air.
We're
Which is
gonna put Stephanie Viva and Kat Wilson in a room on camera on World Mental Health Day.
And
Let's see what happens.
They locked us in.
Oh my!
We're fine.
So, you know
Everything's
what?
fine.
I really was thinking about this on my way here this morning.
What's up,
about
Amy?
how we've never done a show together.
Yeah.
I mean, in all the years that we've been friends, that we've, you know, been co-workers. And I think it's because somebody decided that we have two of the most outlandish, obnoxious laughs.
Yeah.
And through my
We
entire
can't
career,
have that.
I was told you need to tone down the laughing.
That's
'cause
right. The
it's-
guffaw.
It's obnoxious.
Can we even talk about this for a hot minute? Being
Yes.
two females in radio, we were told that you can't be this, you can't be that, you can't do
Mhm.
this, you can't do that, you shouldn't look like that, you shouldn't be there for this, you can't have your hair like that. Nobody wants to hear about this. Nobody wants to hear that you lost a pregnancy. Nobody wants to
Oh
hear
my
about your
God.
treatment. No one wants to hear about this. Stop talking about that. For 25 years, I persevered in a
Mhm.
career that told me not to be something
Right.
every day.
Yep. Don't talk about that you ride a motorcycle. Don't laugh. Don't
You-
talk about your
right?
kids. Don't talk about your niece and nephew.
It was, I don't know why I don't know why we did it. And we did it with a smile and our bad laughs.
And you know what? And every time I got partnered with somebody new for a morning show.
Oh, good times.
And it was never Cat and.
Mm.
It was so and so and Cat.
Right.
I'm like,
That's why I
but-
started when I started on my own. It was
but-
and Stephanie. I
Yeah.
still,
Yeah.
whoever, it's always the person that I'm with first.
Right.
Because I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to be last, I'm going to make it a big last. At least you had a short name that they could have put first.
Well, and alphabetically, if you think about it, C comes first before
Right?
so many other letters.
I know it's garbage. So we've turned the tables, everybody.
Oh my God. And that's not to slight anybody who is a survivor of doing a morning show with either of us.
I think it prepped us for cancer, Cash. It's like, cancer, hold my beer.
Right.
You don't know what I've been through.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
You know, and it's amazing because like your level of your body self-awareness takes a whole shift. I mean, I have never been like, hey, look at my body. You know, it was like growing up, I had it drilled into my
We
head.
were behind
You
a
can be-
microphone.
you can be pretty or you can be funny. And I'm like, I'll take funny. But you know, suddenly there is nothing to hide behind when you are in like that.
Naked on a table and everyone's pawing at you, not for fun reasons. That is correct.
You know,
there is zero dignity.
All I could think about was
None.
what like the monkey cosmonauts felt like getting shoved into a little capsule.
Here you go, bye.
We're going to take pictures of you and okay, just sit really still.
And shout out to everybody in the medical field. I know today is national, or yesterday rather, was National ER Nurse Day. I mean, you all, thank you very much for what you do.
We wouldn't be here without you.
We're very thankful for it. Good morning, Michelle. Hey, Cliff Harris over at House of Hatchets. We've got those to give away this week for our trivia and our music bingo. Want to go throw some axes? You might need to.
Well, I still can't, but I will.
Eventually.
Actually, you know what, Cliff, if you could get like lighter axes so that, you know, folks who, you know, are having shoulder surgery or who have had a mastectomy,
right?
You know,
right.
Lumpectomy,
baby axes, left-handed axes, ones we could throw with our feet.
Yes.
Sorry.
I'd pay money to watch you do that.
My Daniel Day-Lewis with my disgustingly long toes. My left foot of fury. Watch out, people.
Wow.
It's happening.
Wow.
I know. So I'm resetting the tables here because we started off talking about our Pink Point 5K. We morphed it into our treatment, but it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
And I think the more you talk about it, it normalizes it.
Yeah.
And I know when I was growing up, I watched my friends' moms wither away.
Yeah.
That it was, you got the diagnosis and it was an instant, you know, what can we do to make you comfortable for the next 6 months or a year? And
for me, it was always part of the conversation because my grandmother was diagnosed at 38. And so it was like, it was 25 years of her battling before she passed, but I mean, still very young. So it was always a conversation all the time.
And I never really had that conversation. But one thing I can say is thank you to the women and men.
Yeah, right. Because guys get it too, by the way.
Who
check your boobs.
Yeah, who have come before us. But also anybody who has taken part in a relay for life, anybody who has thrown an extra 50 cents in a cup, anybody who has bought a t-shirt, anybody who has put forward money, time, energy into research to figure out how to battle this disease. I mean, I think about even 5 years ago when one of my friends was diagnosed just before COVID.
Yeah.
And she went through treatments during COVID. Fast forward to me in February and March and April, and the new tests they have that will actually take your cancer apart to its DNA.
Yeah.
Figure out what in your body it's feeding on so they know, is it going to recur? Can we starve it? Can we do surgery on it? Do we even need to do chemo? It is not do not pass, go straight to chemo anymore. There are more effective ways to treat it without completely going through the gamut.
Yeah.
Although the gamut is there, and
Right.
and
it's
very
different for
real.
everybody. And that's the frustrating thing, is because it's not a blanket statement. It's your body. And one of my pet peeves, because I know that there are a lot of them for everybody that have been out there, and for what people say to you, because it's awkward and they don't know what to say to you. But one of my, fight the fight. And I'm like, I'm fighting myself. It's me. I'm the problem.
Yeah.
Like,
You don't
it's not
have
a fight.
choice.
Right?
Yes, you have to be brave. You don't have a choice.
Mhm.
But you're so brave. No,
I'm glad,
I am
'cause I want to live.
scared to flipping
Okay.
death. And our partners, our spouses, our support systems, like what I look back at now would be considered completely irrational conversations I was having. But to me,
Different from the other ones. Those are different.
Thank you.
This is us.
It's true. But the things that go through your mind, and you just, you're waiting for somebody to say you're gonna be okay in a way that you believe it, because people are like, you're gonna be okay, and you're like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
But coming out on this side of things, I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah. Yep.
You're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna be
Every day I get here, I'm okay. So it's fine. Honestly, I think of it that way. I've been able to have amazing experience since leaving my regular 9 to 5, whatever, obviously it wasn't those hours, but my regular job. It has been eye-opening for me to spend more time with my kids, to be able to, I took June off.
No.
You took a month? I took a month off. I took June off and spent it with my teenagers, like doing important things those are great memories. They're core memories that my kids will have forever, that it's just doing the important things in your life. So I feel like, if nothing else, stack the important things first and have that conversation with, really you're faced with, what do you want to do? Why, what am I doing here?
And, and I think about the things like that. I know a woman who did the BRCA gene test, and she had a high chance of developing multiple types of cancer. And she said, all right, we're going to do the surgeries. We're getting rid of things up and down. And when I'm healed, we're taking the kids, we're going on a sailboat, and we are going to not necessarily sail around the world, but man, they traveled all different countries, and it was mom, dad, and 3 kids. And those are the memories.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. You don't want to remember your treatment moments or your trauma moments. You want to remember the parts that were what we're here for.
And that inspired, her kids, who are now, looking at colleges and, working abroad and studying abroad. And it's like, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to just kind of sit and wait for things.
Wait to die.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's Kat, it's Stephanie. We have never ever had this very, very real conversation before. Amy, Pan Mass Challenge crew leader, volunteer here for 22 years. Thank you very much for everything that you do. Sandy, thanks for joining us. Lisa, thanks for bopping in and saying hello, and I better see you soon. So we're here talking about our Pink Point 5K, which is happening this Sunday, right before our final regular season Mashpee Farmers Market. Come as you are, come in pink, come with whatever you feel like, bring in the dog. This is my favorite part about where we are in the Mashpee Commons, in that big, big field.
So it's right behind the library.
Yes. Yep, that's exactly where we are. We're going to take a little bit of a break because it is spooky season. And our friends over at Sandwich Chamber of Commerce, Chrissy said, did you know that we're having spooky stories? Tim Wiesberg, also fellow radio dude, is got this fabulous overnight where they do the whole like ghost hunting, whatever it was. They did it at the Hoxie School last year.
Really?
This year they're doing it at the Daniel Webster.
Because that's not going to be spooky.
Right, exactly. But also they like feed you and have this whole like full on night planned that is coming up next Saturday. So let's chat with Tim and take a little break. We'll be back, Kat and Stephanie, after that.
Yeah, well, it's witchy woo season, and I've got Tim Wiesberg on the show with me today. How are you?
I'm spooktacular, as I like to say.
Yeah, this is like your high hole holiday. So talk to me. What's going on when you're not talking spooky scaries?
Well, I mean, I call this paranormal Christmas. So this is the time of year when, this is when we get to kind of let our freak flag fly and get out there and do all the weird stuff. But the rest of the time, when I'm here in my office, which looks kind of weird anyway,
I love
but
it.
this is actually in the radio station where I work for my day job.
Excellent. How long have you been doing the spooky stuff apart from the radio stuff?
So I actually started doing it through the radio.
Okay.
Years ago, I was doing a sports show here at the station, and I was working as a newspaper writer for the local newspaper covering sports. And they gave me the opportunity here in 2006 to host a show on anything that I wanted. And so I pitched a show on the paranormal because I'd always been interested and I'd always had experiences. And now, all these years later, I've had the opportunity to investigate so many places and work in the paranormal field, write books, work on TV shows, be in documentaries, all kinds of things. So I kind of just compile that all together now into what I call being a professional weirdo.
I really appreciate that. Is that on your resume now? It's on your business cards when you give
It
it to
is
people?
it is on my business card. I wish I had one right in front of me. I'd hold it up for you. I was giving
That's
them out
so
at Sandwich
awesome.
Fest though. And everybody's like, it really does say professional weirdo. I'm like, I know, it's the only word to describe what I do.
What's the scariest place that you've ever been in? Like where you were actually afraid?
I really haven't had a whole lot of experiences where I've been afraid of, say, the paranormal part of it.
Hmm.
It's kind of more like the environment that we're in a lot of these places, because not every place that we go to is as beautiful as the Daniel Webster Inn. Some of
Right.
it is old, decrepit buildings. And there was a time that we were in Fort Taber in New Bedford in one of the batteries there, which we had permission to be in, don't trespass. And we were underground. This tunnel goes under the side of a hill, and we got the sound happening in the room that we thought that the roof was caving in on us. We thought we were going to get buried by all the debris, but it turns out we really just were hearing phantom cannon fire from the cannons that used to be on top of that hill. So that was one of the few times that I actually thought that I would, get hurt and possibly die from what it was that we were doing. But for the most part, I found that everything that happens to me is more intriguing than it is scary. I always
Yeah.
tell people, when you have an experience, you're either going to run toward it or you're going to run away from it, and I'm one of those run toward it kind of people.
You're the crazy one that's in the horror movie that's going up the stairs when they're like, why are
Hmm.
you doing that?
Yes, I'm the one that everybody will be screaming at from the audience and probably is the first to get killed.
So talk to me about the event in Sandwich that's happening.
This is going to be, so it's the second year in a row that I've done something with the Sandwich Chamber of Commerce. Last year we had a huge successful turnout for our investigation of the Wing School and the Hoxie House. But while I was there in town, because I lived in town when I was a kid, I was a middle schooler in Sandwich, and I went to the Wing School. So I wanted to go there because I knew way back in sixth grade that it was haunted.
Yeah, you're like,
But while
something's up here.
Yeah, I could tell. And so while I was in town, I stayed at the Daniel Webster Inn. And when I came back from the investigation, I was in my room, one of the suites, and I was just trying to like kind of calm down, relax, because it's always such a buzz to go out and do these investigations. You get amped up and you got to kind of deflate a little bit before you go to bed. And so I'm just sitting in the little living room area chilling out, and I heard ka-junk. I was like, what is that? I thought somebody was in my room. So I go running into the bathroom, and the big, heavy glass shower door had opened on its own. And I
Okay.
know that thing was closed and latched when I left there, because I always leave my hotel room exactly as I found it in case housekeeping comes in while I'm gone. I don't want them to
Yep.
think I'm some kind of slob. So I know that door was closed, yet this thing just opened up on its own. And so I said, there's definitely something going on here. And the next morning, I was talking with some of the staff about some of their paranormal experiences. And I said, from now on, or at least next year when we come back, I'm coming here to investigate, not just to stay. So that's kind of the genesis of how this came about.
I've definitely got to have you in my studio because I know we are definitely haunted. Every time I've got anybody that does anything from the paranormal that comes here, and they're like, there's a situation going on over here. I'm like, I very much know it. It's a very active house. I am right on the water in Mashpee, and I'm definitely on tribal land. And there is definitely some stuff that happens in this house. And, we've had a death in the house. And it's a very loud, very busy house, although my kids are gone, and now I just walk around and I'm like, okay, there are people here. There are things happening here. Do you ever get in
And
a space where you're like, wow, there's a lot happening you can't explain?
Well, I always joke around and say that I'm as psychic as a brick. My best friend Stephanie Burke is a psychic medium, and she's told me, the more you do this, the more you're going to get tuned into that kind of stuff. And she's right. I
Yeah.
kind of have gotten that feeling now that when I go into a place, I can say, "Gee, there's definitely something here," or I can say, "Boy, we're really going to have an active night." So I've kind of been able to tune into it. So I wouldn't call myself somebody that has abilities, but I can certainly kind of get that sense. And it wouldn't surprise me that your studio would be active, because you got to think you're putting out a lot of energy doing these shows, and at the same time you've got the technology around you which is giving them energy to kind of fuel themselves up. And so yeah, if there is something around, that would kind of be the space that it would be drawn to, I would think.
It's a ghosty palooza. All right. So you're going to be at the Daniel Webster in October 19th. What are people going to go there and expect?
So the first and foremost, the thing I'm most excited about is, as with any of our events, I'm excited about the food that we're going to have.
Oh, yeah.
Generally, when we do these events, we do like pizza and salad because it's quick and easy, but we're not doing that there. They're bringing in a full buffet, so we're going to be able to have a nice sit-down meal. And then when that's over, we'll give some talks. I'll probably give a little Paranormal 101 presentation because we have a lot of folks coming that are doing this for the first time. Then we're going to go over to the old town hall. We're going to investigate there for a little while. And then we'll move over to the annex, the town hall annex, and we'll investigate there for a little while. And then we'll go back to the inn and we'll finish the night up there doing some investigation, some experimentation. So you probably have seen some of the things that they do on TV, the different equipment they use. I bring a lot of that with me. We'll do everything from going old school with dowsing rods and pendulums and Ouija boards to some of the more modern technology and techniques. Something I like to use called the Estes method, where you get the chance to actually communicate with the spirits and have them answer some of your questions. And last year in the Wing School and in the Hoxie House, we were getting kind of some mind-blowing responses utilizing that technique. So I'm hoping to have the same happen again this year.
Very cool. It is a full evening. And I know Daniel Webster, I believe that they've got a couple of rooms left, but they've got this whole package. How do people find out more information about this night? Because I absolutely love it. It sounds like a full-on ghost adventure.
The easiest way to do it is to go to tinyurl.com/spooky sandwich. That's going to have all the information you need. It's also up on the Sandwich Chamber of Commerce website. All the information is there for purchasing a ticket to the event. And then once you purchase a ticket to the event, if you want to spend the night overnight at the inn, you'll get a code from Chrissy over at the chamber when you sign up. And if you utilize that to book, you'll actually get money off the regular room rate. They've got a special room rate for us for that night for people that want to stay overnight. And I'm not saying that you can continue the investigation after I go home, but I mean, you're paying to stay there, right? You can do whatever you
Right?
want.
Yeah, exactly. For a full buffet and a whole evening of activities, it really is a good ticket price. So I think it's definitely worth the admission. Saturday, October 19th, you can come and meet Tim and talk to him about anything that's paranormal.
The weirder, the better. That's the way I look at it.
I love it. Well, hopefully you check in more often, Tim. Let's continue this dialogue because I like to get weird. So let's
Absolutely.
make it happen.
I'll get weird with you anytime.
Hey, we're getting ready to get weird again now.
Woo!
Ricky B goes, does Tim do any ring announcing for wrestling shows anymore? I think he does. Tim, a morning show host over at WBSM out of New Bedford. So right? Us radio people seems to be everybody on the stream today. You can't stay away from us, can you?
No, we're everywhere.
I was at the college yesterday, and Tamora, our friends over at Community Productions, had their final production.
Oh.
Well, they all graduated from Four Seas and they're all doing other things.
Okay.
So this was like the culmination, but they say they're going to keep the lip sync battle going.
So let's talk about what you did last night.
Yeah. I took a break. I had Robin go host trivia over at Sandwich Taverna, and I was the judge of a lip sync competition. The second year in a row that I've judged this lip sync competition.
Now tell me, how do you prepare and what do you judge based on in a lip sync competition?
Well, there are two schools of thought here. We had a person that ended up bringing a bestie that they did dance routines to.
Okay.
You got to be prepared for anything. There was Gretchen, who showed up with every prop known to man.
Such as?
So her first song that she did was a Noah Khan song. So she pretended to play guitar and she was kicking things around. She basically took off all of her clothes, but kept, the main proper ones on. And then started kicking things around the stage. And I said, stripping and kicking always gets you a 10. So she got a 10 on that number.
Okay.
She also did another Taylor Swift number where it was the breakup song with Jake Gyllenhaal. So she was throwing tissues around and burning things.
Okay.
She lit a match. She didn't light anything on fire because we were all a little nervous in the theater. And then for her final one, she did a workout routine to Bon Jovi where she stepped on the step up to, we all remember those terrible steps that we used to do aerobics to. Well, this one wasn't anchored and it kind of went a little forward and you saw the fear of God in her face as she was going almost closely off the stage, but she didn't. So these are some of the items that were brought to us last night. Last year, we had full on stage productions. I'm talking props. I'm talking Broadway level productions. Really? Ayanna showed up and did her best Janet Jackson in full Janet Jackson outfits.
Ooh.
I mean, people go all in.
All right. Okay. So who won last
night? So I think her name was again.
Sorry, I shouldn't have put you on the spot.
No, yeah, I was bad with the names, but she had one of the most expressive faces. She's also a stand-up comedian. So she's just got this face and the body language that go perfectly along with the lyrics. And she's very entertaining to watch.
And what song was it?
They did 3.
3, okay.
So all of them, I don't know what those songs were. Last year, she did a routine in French. I don't even know what the song was.
Oh,
okay. The first one she did, the Bloodhound Gang. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals. The Bad Touch. That was the name of the song that she did. That was her first number. So just to start there from it, very impressed. Danny Walsh sat next to me and he was just I can't. Well, his wife performed, Brandy.
Oh, really?
She did a country number. She did a Shania number. And I loved that she had full on cowgirl boots with the fringe. So when she was shaking her ankles, it looked like a little car wash. I was very much into it.
Well, I do like the country music.
I know. Are you over your country hangover or are you still involved? Because we did every genre of music.
Yeah, we did.
Once again, things that you might not know about us and radio is you're going to be on that show tomorrow and you're going to love that music. You're going to eat, sleep, and breathe that music.
Even if you can't pronounce any of the singers'
I don't know these people. What? Good morning, Kelly, Emily, Mary Jane, and Jasara. Thank you for joining us on the show.
You know what?
Stephanie.
I'm going to get you one of the romper room mirrors so that you can say, and good morning to Chrissy and Mary and Martina and Sally.
I do it every day.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
But you need the romper room mirror to do it.
Here she is. Another fun fact about Kat you might not know. She would leave the studio in the morning and she would look like she had just left prison. There's this ink of all the notes that she had to herself that she would write on her hands.
Well, because if I do this,
we lose that.
This ends up under the back seat of my car or God only knows where, but this is with me.
Yeah.
So yes, you're going to get a mirror for Stephanie.
Perfect. Thank you.
So,
I need that. A little phone microphone that I can take with me to the dementia home when it happens for me.
There you go.
What is she doing? She's doing a show. Just leave her alone.
Just leave her alone.
She's talking to herself in the mirror.
No, you know what? People do ask, what do you miss about radio?
Yeah.
And I think what I miss is knowing that at some point over the course of 4 hours, I am going to do my very best to make somebody laugh.
Yeah.
And even though when it's a little weird because you're in a room, you're by yourself, you don't know when people are laughing.
Yeah.
And so you're making it up a little bit. But,
right. Theater of the mind.
But I miss that.
Yeah.
The good thing is that in my new job, I work with a bunch of people that I make laugh every day because they can't believe I'm doing the things that I do.
Where is your new job?
My new job, I work at the Mass Higher Cape and Islands Career Center.
I love it.
And I get to help employers fill open positions. I get to help people who are looking for jobs find great jobs, not just the for now job, but the for now, for tomorrow, for the rest of my career jobs.
Yeah, I had my moments with Mass Hire as I was leaving radio abruptly during pandemic. That was a big shocker, but not really. Danny Walsh, where the ears must have been burning. We were just talking about Brandy and her car wash boots. Very much enjoyed that. So yeah, here I was, beginning of pandemic, fired from a job that I still got an A in my report card for. And so I went to Mass Hire, not because I thought, well, let's go to Mass Hire. No, because I was forced to do the RICIA program, like basically the audit of unemployment. And then they were like, oh yeah, your job, there are like 200 people that do it in the United States and it's like negative 400%. But you qualify for all of these other things.
Yeah.
Have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? And in my very lowest of space where I was like, I can't do anything, I was very, very thankful for Mass Hire. I hadn't written a resume in 20 years.
Yeah.
I hadn't realized any of my veteran benefits as a veteran. And you've got a person in the office that is like, okay, you qualify for this, this, and this.
And that's their whole job, is to work with veterans.
I hadn't realized I was able to complete portions of my schooling that I didn't think about being able to do. Not only that, but they paid for it.
Oh yeah, we will pay for things.
Which was, I was like, what?
Yeah.
So I can just concentrate on school and not anything else. Like we're not used to getting things ever for where we are. We're used to giving things away and being part of the joy for other people.
Yeah.
So it was one of those moments where it's like, I got to focus on myself. And oh yeah, there's a worldwide pandemic going on. So this is also another, I'm so thankful for that time. I'm so thankful for Mass Hire that continued to operate in that very weird space.
Yeah.
And for Laura Romanelli, who literally was like, how you doing today? How you doing today? How's this? Did you check this? Have you been here for this? And it wasn't annoying. I found it a blessing.
Yeah.
Because I needed that.
We work with some amazing people at Mass Hire, and you know, everybody's goal at the end of the day is to help lift somebody up. We know we're meeting people at what is one of the worst times in their life.
Yep.
Period. No questions asked. So what we do is, you know, the mental health check-in, okay, we're going to bring you in, we're going to sit you down, we're going to go through everything, we're going to see what you're eligible for, and then we're going to run with it. You know, I hear people in the office say wraparound services, and it's kind of like the jargon, but it really is from you being unemployed to whether it's going through career training, getting certifications, helping you get on your way, to helping to set up your resume, practice interviews, set up your interview,
close, headshots.
Yeah.
There were some other thing. I was like, oh, okay, I'm here. I'm doing this. I'm getting headshots today. Thank you.
Yeah. That's
I
not
took
something
advantage
we
of
do
it.
every day,
No.
but it's something that we have connections if you need that done.
The programming, though, there's always something new going on, and there's some new offering. And you're right, it's not a regular everyday office visit, but it is something that you do offer. And you have job fairs and you have career fairs, and you're constantly looking to bring new ways to get people a better job or a better station, or maybe something that's a better fit for you, which is also nice.
And the idea is to give you the tools so that, you know, it's the fish or a fishing pole. We're going to give you the best fishing pole and reel and tackle box you've ever had.
Good luck to you. Hope you catch a fish.
But here's the thing is that we follow up.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of times, so I'm on the business services side. So I'm talking with the employers. You know, Kathy LeBlanc is this just amazing human being who has taught me everything. She will pick up the phone and call an HR person and say, hey, I am sending you over a resume for somebody that's sitting at my desk right now. Can you open your email?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
She
mean,
helped me rewrite my resume 400 times. I was like, I don't know how that translates to real people skills. I don't like this. Here's this job that I did. She's like, oh my God, Stephanie, you're fine.
but it's always positive. It's always supportive. And at the end of the day, you know, I talked about how in my old job, my goal was to make somebody laugh or smile.
Yeah.
we get to see that.
Totally.
It's a long-term
And Ricky says,
relationship.
and you still do their commercials. So
Yeah.
there's that. And Sally, hello, how are you doing today?
Uh,
Angie, Jennifer, Mark Penta, and Danny Walsh says, hello, Stephanie and Kat. So yeah, translating our radio skills into other skills that are, viable in the regular human world was
it's
a challenge,
not,
but it's not.
exclusive to radio. I mean, we are unique here on the Cape. You talk about somebody who's had a Cape Cod career. Okay, what does that mean?
Both of us.
That means you've been in hospitality.
Yep.
It means you have been somebody standing at the edge of a parking lot going like this,
Yep.
telling people to park before they get on the ferry.
Yes.
It means that you have been a dog sitter. It means you've been a babysitter. It means that you have been cleaning up beaches. Cape Codders are the most amazing survivalists when it comes to
We were built for this.
piecing jobs together.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. It's always been like that.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's more difficult now. So what we try to do is take all of that experience and help you find one path to a sustainable career
We
path.
don't say enough for the soft skills that we do develop starting at 12 around the Cape for your summer job, scooping ice cream. It matters when you're interacting with other human beings. Those are
does.
really important skills.
It
Good
does.
morning, Ted Murphy. Sally says the Warriors are front and center. I don't know
Yes.
about all of that.
Yes,
but
we are.
We're adjusting in our seats right now for that. Thanks. Tell us more. We have our Pink Point 5K. It is happening on Sunday. It starts at 10 a.m. I know, right? You get a little sticker. It's a little sticker for a little race.
For a little race. But it's not even a race.
No.
It is a coming together. It is an opportunity to say, you know what, we're all going to be in one place at the same time with smiles on our faces, sharing stories, and giving people the opportunity to continue to share stories and continue to smile.
So all you have to do is just show up. I mean, we would prefer if you wore pink. If not, we've got t-shirts available for you.
We would prefer if you made a donation. Can I just tell you, when somebody walks up and says,
Right,
I'd like
okay.
to make a donation to your cause, and you know that it's somebody who knows first personal everything in your face, what it's like to experience what so many of us have experienced.
Yeah.
And they say, I want to help. And this is helping somebody else
Yeah.
who is waking up today, not thinking about anything, maybe watching the news, thinking about the election. And then all of a sudden,
focus on cancer.
you're
like, oh God, it's awful to say.
well, it's, I'm telling when people say cancer,
I know.
the election. It's
Right?
great.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We're hearing the whispers, kids.
But that somebody is waking up today and tomorrow their life is going to get turned sideways. But because of the support systems that are in place, because of the people that have come before us, it's going to be easier than what somebody faced 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It's still horrible. There is no question about it.
Yeah, for sure.
But knowing that there is a support system, there are organizations like Cape Wellness Collaborative that also came out of a very difficult family story for Sarah Swain.
Yeah.
I will never forget the day Sarah Swain came in to do the cheap seats with me, and she had this look on her face. And she said, Kat, I'm going to do something that's going to help a lot of people. And I have no idea how I'm going to do it, but it's going to be great.
That's how it's born.
And now we have the Cape Wellness Collaborative. And you know what? It's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to their masquerade gala that they've got coming up at the Pelham House. We talked to their new executive director yesterday, and I'm just so thankful.
Can I just say?
Yeah.
She is also an alumnus of Mass Hire.
I love that.
She-
See, full circle.
Yep. It absolutely is.
Well, that's what Kelly
working
said.
with the
Cape Codders
community.
wear many hats, and we can do so many things together.
Yep.
So,
And I think sometimes we forget that.
yeah.
That especially during the pandemic, a lot of people got creative on how can we support each other, but at the same time, we were supporting each other like this.
Yeah, right.
And
I still know you're over there though.
yeah, but now it's like, I'm going to support you.
You guys, this has been such a nice morning. I do want to thank Junior. Junior is one of our best volunteers at the Mashpee Farmers Market. Junior, you have no idea what you're in for this week. Just come dressed in pink, bring your fabulous, gorgeous daughter, and get ready for an absolute bleep show. We've got bagpipes, we've got dogs, we've got tutus. We have got a great showing from our Mashpee Wampanoag tribe. It is Indigenous Peoples
wonderful.
Weekend. So we've got a youth group that's going to be joining us for our final regular season Mashpee Farmers Market. We've got food trucks. Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
If you don't think you can handle the 0.5K,
Yes.
can you put a relay team together?
Absolutely.
All right. Everybody can do 50 yards.
I swear I better see one team doing a relay. I will absolutely die. I'll even find a baton somewhere, and don't threaten me with a good time. I'm bringing it. It's happening. Oh my God, how amazing was that? That is absolutely happening. Shout out to our hosts here at Mashpee TV, Chris Ball, Justin, you do fabulous jobs. If you want to watch Mashpee TV HD 1072, if your box is not showing up on 1072, that's because you need to upgrade. Call 1-800-COMCAST, or you can go and just swap it out at your local store and get a new box so you can watch it in beautiful HD 1072.
That was very good.
Thank you very much.
But you know what?
And I don't even get paid.
I was going to say, you should do that professionally.
Well, they don't want me anymore, so it's fine. It's fine. They can't afford me. You can't afford me. Another shout out to our friends over at Mass Hire, Laura Romanelli. When the countless emails came in and you're like, what are you going to do, Stephanie? What about this? What about this? Laura, they can't afford me. They don't want me. I'm too old. I'm going to start my own thing. Okay. And I did.
Wow.
I made my own job. So thank you very much for your support on all of that. Find us on lemonadio.com. We appreciate your support, and we hope to see you at the field here in Mashpee, right across from the library, with all of your pink on for our pink 0.5K. You're going to walk away with this tiny little sticker because we're doing big things.
I'm even going to put this on my car.
Yes, our brand new car. Lisa Bates in the house. All right, we've got a ladies reunion that we've got to catch up on. Kat, anything else, parting words you want to say?
I love you.
I love you. We need to do this more often. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon. Hank is coming up on lunch break. Thank you for your support. We appreciate you endlessly here on Lemonadio. Ta-da! We survived, and we didn't burn down the internet. It broke, I think, though.
I didn't even swear.
That's disappointing.